Hi, explorers. I hope you're having a great day today. As you can see in my window that the sun is really shining today. I love it. But just a few minutes ago at my house, it was snowing. It's crazy. Was it snowing at your house too? Well, today I have a story to tell you. There's no book to go with it, no pictures, so you have to use your imagination. But you're really good at using your imagination. So are you ready? I bet some of you may have heard this story before. It's the story of the three little pigs. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. And these little pigs were brothers. And they lived at home with their mom and their dad. And, they grew up. So as they got bigger, their mother said, "Little pigs, it's time for you to go out and get your own houses because you're grown up now." So they said, "Okay." So they went out and they started looking for something that they could build their houses out of. And the first little pig, well, he saw a man selling straw. And he thought, "Oh, straw, that would be a good thing to build my house out of." Do you know what straw is? It's like hay. It's that yellowish brown hay that animals eat that sometimes you see in a farmer's field. So the little pig thought that that would be a good idea to build his house out of. So he bought the straw from the man who was selling it and he said, "Thank you very much, have a good day." And off he went and he built his house out of straw. And the second little brother pig, he was looking for a while too. So he was walking up and down the street and looking for, oh, what could I build my house out of? And all of a sudden, he spotted a man selling sticks. And he thought, you know what? That will be a great thing to build my house out of. So he bought a big load of sticks from the man and he paid him and he said, "Thank you very much. Have a great day." And the second brother pig found a spot to build his house and he built a nice little house out of sticks. And the last brother, he looked the longest. He looked and looked and looked, and he couldn't find anything that he liked to build his house out of until finally he came across a person selling bricks. And he thought, bricks? That would be a great thing to build my house out of. So he bought a big load of bricks, and he told the man thank you, and he went off and found a nice green space to build a nice brick house. So all the brother pigs were living in their house and they visited each other and they went over and had dinner and they played games together at each other's houses and they were really doing great. And then one day, a big bad wolf came to the first little pig's house and he knocked on the door like this. And he said, little pig, are you home?" And the little pig said, do you know what he said? He said, who is it?" And the wolf said, "Well, it's just me, your friend the wolf." And he said, little pig, let me come in. I just want to come in and see you for a little bit." And the little pig thought, I don't think wolves like pigs. Actually, I think wolves like pigs very much. I think they like to eat them and not be their friend. So the first little pig was going to let the wolf in, but then he changed his mind and he thought, you know what, I'm not going to let that wolf in after all. So one more time the wolf said, little pig, let me come in." And the little pig said, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin." And the wolf said, "Well, that's not very nice. I just wanted to come over and have some coffee and talk to you a little bit." But the little pig still said no. And the wolf said, "Okay, if you don't let me in, fine. Then I'm just gonna huff and I'm gonna puff and I'm gonna blow your house in." So he did. He huffed and he puffed. You want to blow with me? On the count of three, we'll blow the pig's house in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And he blew on the pig's house and the straw fell down everywhere because straw is not very strong. It's not very sturdy, and it just collapsed. And there was the little pig standing there, and he didn't know what to do because big bad wolves like to eat pigs for dinner. So he thought, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? The wolf's gonna get me. So he ran to his brother's house as fast as he could. And piggies, boy, they can't run very fast because they have short legs, but he ran as fast as he could, and he made it all the way to his brother's house, the second brother with the sticks. And he said, brother, let me in. The wolf is chasing me. So the brother opened the door and the pig went in and he shut the door. Oh, and he made it. And the wolf got there just after he shut the door. And the wolf thought, oh my gosh, I just missed him. This is not good luck. And then he realized there wasn't just one pig in the house. Now there were two pigs in the house. It was the first little pig and the second little pig. So the wolf thought, wow, this might be my lucky day. I'm going to get two ham dinners instead of just one. So he crept up to the door, nice and quiet, and he sniffed the air a little bit. It smelled delicious like pigs. And he thought, what am I going to do to get these pigs out here so I can eat them? He couldn't really think of anything, so he just knocked on the door again like this. He went, hello, little piggies, are you home? I know you're in there. I saw you go in there. Would you please let me in? I thought maybe we could have a snack together, maybe play a game or something. And the little pigs looked at each other and they thought, no way, he is not tricking us. We are not going to be that wolf's lunch. So they said, no way, Mr. Wolf, not by the hair on our chinny chin chin. We will not let you in our house. You cannot trick us. And the wolf said, well, that's rude. I wasn't going to do anything bad. I was just going to play a game with you. But those pigs knew he was tricking him. So he said, fine, if you're going to be mean about it, then I'll just huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in and then I'll eat you up. And they looked at each other. They thought, no, he can't blow our house in. It's made of sticks, so we'll stay up. And the wolf huffed and he puffed. And then he took a deep breath and he blew on the stick house. You want to blow it down with me on the count of 3. Ready? Blow as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3. And it started falling a little bit, started going down, but it didn't go down all the way, so he had to blow again. Are you ready? And on the second blow, it tumbled all the way down. All the sticks fell straight to the ground. And those two little pigs were standing right there in the middle of all the sticks, and the wolf thought, ha 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 ha, I got you now. But boy, did they act fast. They took off down the road because they knew where their brother lived, and they ran right to that third little brother's house, and they ran and they ran and they ran as fast as they could because they didn't want to get eaten for lunch. And oh, that wolf, he was climbing over all the sticks and he was following them and he was getting really close and he was catching up. He was right on their tails. But as they were running up to the third brother's house, they started yelling, brother, 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 let us in, the wolf is after us, the wolf is after us. And just as they got to the door, the third brother opened the door, the two pigs went in and they shut it and they locked it, and just then the wolf got there. Oh, so close. But they were safe inside the third brother's house, and they were all 3 together. And the wolf thought, wow, my day just keeps getting better and better. First I was only going to have 1 pig for lunch. Then I was going to have 2 pigs for lunch. Now there's 3 pigs in that house, and I am going to have a giant feast. I'm going to be so full. So he snuck up to the house, but the pigs were watching out the window. They moved the curtain and they peeked out the window and they saw him coming. And they thought, no way, Jose, we are not going to get eaten by this pig. So the pig went up, and this time he rang the doorbell. He didn't knock. He said, ding dong, ding dong. Hello, brother pigs. How's it going? Now that we're all together, let's just sit down and have a little chat. Maybe we can play charades or something. And the pigs were like, no way, Jose. So all 3 of them at the same time, they said, we're not going to let you in, Mr. Wolf, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin. And the wolf thought he was being pretty friendly, and he got really mad because they wouldn't let him come in. But the pigs knew he was just trying to trick them, and he was trying to eat them for dinner. So he decided to come up with a different plan this time. So instead of trying to blow the house down, he knew he couldn't blow a brick house down because brick houses, oh, they're way too strong. This was a smart wolf. His cousin wolf, he tried to blow a brick house down and it didn't work. He tried and tried and tried and tried, and he blew so hard that he just passed out. So he knew the wolf's cousin tried it and he knew it wasn't going to work. So he didn't even bother trying to blow the brick house down. You know what he did instead? He climbed up on the roof and he he saw there was a chimney up there. So he decided that he was going to go down the chimney like Santa Claus. He was going to sneak down the chimney, and then he was going to sneak in to the piggy's house, and then he was going to gobble all three of them up for dinner. Well, remember I told you the pigs were watching out the window. They were spying on the wolf, and they saw him start climbing up the house, and they saw him get on the roof, and they knew what he was doing. So they hurried up and got a big pot of water, a big kettle that they used to cook soup in, and they filled it up with water, and they put it in the fireplace, and they lit the fire. They made a big fire with wood, and they put that pot on the top, so all that water got steamy and hot. And in the meantime, the wolf was climbing and climbing and climbing, and he finally got to the roof, and he was making all kinds of noisy like footprints on the roof, and they could hear him walking around up there. And so as soon as he got in the chimney, he thought he was being sneaky, but the pigs were pretty smart. They knew what they were doing. They just didn't build their houses out of very good stuff, I guess, except for the third pig. So he started going down the chimney little by little by little. And then his foot slipped a little bit, but he caught himself. And then he kept going down a little bit more, but his foot slipped again. And this time, when he slipped all the way down the chimney, and he fell into the pot of water, of hot water. And the little pigs put the lid on top. And you know what they did to the wolf? They cooked him, and they ate him. They made wolf stew. Have you ever had wolf stew before? I haven't. I've had chili before, and I've had beef stew before, but I've never had wolf stew before. But those piggies cooked him up, and then at dinner that night they set the table, and all three pigs sat around the table, and they got big scoops of their wolf stew, and they gobbled it up, and they thought, this is delicious. And the first little pig and the second little pig told their brother, "Thank you for building a strong house out of bricks. We were not very smart. We built our house out of sticks and straw, and they did not last. The wolf blew them right over. But you were smart, and you built your house out of bricks." And from then on, those three brother pigs lived in that brick house, and they lived there, and they stayed safe happily ever after, and no wolves ever bothered them again, because all the rest of the wolves heard what happened to the wolf who got turned into wolf stew, and they said, "We are not bothering those pigs anymore." And that was the end of the wolf, and also the end of the story. So I hope you liked that story. Maybe you have the story of the three little pigs at your house, or maybe you can ask someone to tell you the story of the three little pigs, and maybe their story will be a little bit different than my story. That's what's fun about listening to fairy tales, is sometimes they're just a little bit different. So I hope you're having a fun day, and I'll get you another fairy tale up for tomorrow.